Hey gang, Will here from the Ashland Fly Shop with a holiday fishing report for you for the state of Jefferson region. Several things to touch base on, some good positive stuff out there, so we're just gonna hop right into it here. So we'll kick things off as we often do with the Rogue River, our backyard steelhead playground, and it has really been hanging in there. Definitely late summer fish in the Rogue. The lower Rogue's probably seeing some winter fish kind of filtering in now, but the chances of those fish being kind of up in our area are very, very slim. A lot of times we catch these large late fall fish, and you know, there's speculation that they might be winter fish, but I really feel that those are those larger late fall fish. And those are the kind of fish that we're seeing right now. So this is a fish that's obviously been out in the ocean a little bit longer. You know, it's got a bit more girth, a bit more size to it. So we see some really nice fish this time of year. And with the rain that we've had in the last few weeks, it's sort of kind of kept the river going. And if you remember, we had a very long period of dry weather. High pressure really sat on us for quite a long time, so it really just stalled the run and really just kind of shut it down for a while. So now we're seeing in the last few weeks, we're seeing the precipitation kind of bring the river up, sweeten it up, and fish are continuing to move up through. We haven't had huge rains that have really brought all the tributaries up. So, you know, it's been really nice. It's just been kind of fluctuating up and down. It's been extremely low out of the dam. We've seen a little bit of bumps here and there in the Dodge Bridge area, you know, from like, you know, 12 to 1500 and back down and stuff. And that's enough to get the fish moving, but still haven't seen those tributaries really just wide open for those fish to go in there. So there's still fish in the river, and I think the fishing opportunities for the next couple weeks, if you're in the area for the holiday, if you've got time off for the holiday, fishing for steelhead is going to be a good bet. And we've been hearing decent reports everywhere from the Tuville Park area where we fish a lot. In that stretch, you know, all the way up to the dam, I think you can expect decent numbers of hatchery fish up around the dam. That can be a pretty good place late in the run like this. So the Rogue in general, upper Rogue in general, I mean, really everywhere from Grants Pass up to the dam, I think is a very good bet for fishing right now. Same stuff we always use. Swinging flies, nymphing, really a good bet right now out there. So let's get after it. Another great local option in the Rogue Valley is the Holy Water stretch of the Upper Rogue. The Holy Water stretch of the Upper Rogue is an awesome place, about a half-mile chunk of trout water that's just below the dam and just above the hatchery on the Upper Rogue, and it can fish very well this time of year. We've had quite a bit of overcast in the last few weeks, and we're kind of looking at that as a continuing trend, and that can be really good for fishing at the Holy Water. It can really bring out the light bug hatches that we have up there. I've heard of some really good midge hatches and some good blueing olive hatches, and those are going to happen like right in the middle of the day. You know, 10:30 to 3-ish is when you're going to see those bugs. But those fish can really respond to those flies up there. They can really get on them. So it's a nice time to be up there. If you don't find a hatch, putting on a light sink tip and running streamers through there is a great thing to do. Small streamers, little buggers, swinging nymphs, a wonderful trout spay area. Fishing your light two-handed rods is really a lot of fun up there. Single-handers are great too. Some nymph fishing you can do, but I've found streamer fishing and dry fly fishing is kind of outweighs everything. It's really good. So hopefully you'll find a hatch up there, but the Holy Water is great. The water's way down. It's, gosh, maybe 850, 900 up there. So you can really get to everywhere you're going, anywhere you want to go up there on either the north or south bank. But the Holy Water on the Upper Rogue would be a very good bet for trout fishing the next couple weeks. So let's hop over the hill and talk about the Upper Klamath. The Upper Klamath has been a great bet this year. It's kind of had a real surprise run that we didn't really see coming, but man, it's been really good fishing for weeks. So and continues to fish well. I think kind of the the bulk or the peak, you know, as far as the peak being like numbers of fish, water temperature, kind of everything kind of peaking in that, you know, probably late October, November range. But man, December is a great month to fish down there. The upper river from Iron Gate, I know has been fishing well, and then down below there, I think you can bet you'll find some fish down in that stretch. We love to swing flies on the Klamath. Those fish tend to be a bit grabbier, a bit pluckier, so swinging flies is a really good bet. But man, they'll totally respond to nymphs and, you know, egg patterns and all that. So yeah, it's just been a stellar year. Most everyone I've talked to, guides, you know, good friends that are just fishing down there have just really found good numbers of fish, you know, pretty much wherever they've gone in those stretches, and solid sized fish too, which is really great. Seems to be a good number of adults. So, you know, it's just been about as good as I can remember being in the last, you know, 5 or 6 years. Definitely had a couple of light years there. You know, but it's back to its kind of former self. And flows have been solid. I think they're around 1,000, 1,100, something like that coming out of the dam. Typically the upper stretch around I-5, you know, the Klamath's always got a bit of color to it, so it's hard to tell if it's from, you know, creeks or runoff or whatever, but I think the clarity's been solid. That river could take a you know, a hit with clarity and still fish well. So if you're in the area and again looking for something to do, I think the Upper Klamath is also a very good bet for steelhead. So those are the main event fisheries, but there's a couple other places that are worth mentioning. And that would be the Southern Oregon coast is a great place to be right now. Again, it's a real challenge to hit that right if you're coming from any distance and heading out there. But if you keep an eye on it, keep an eye on the tides and flows and rain and everything, you can really get into some good fishing in the Southern Oregon coast, Northern California coast. And we're probably just starting to see steelhead kind of show up in the rivers now. Salmon is probably just about over. I had a lot of crazy information about salmon. I heard some really good reports, and then I heard some pretty dour reports as well from some people that do a lot of fishing down there. So I'm gonna say it's probably, you know, fair to poor fishing, I would say, for salmon. But the steelhead will be right behind them, and it'll be a good time to be down there the next several weeks. Be a good time to be down there and finding some steelhead. Lower Rogue is always a good bet, and then there's you know, some smaller systems down there that are worth poking around in. And then beside that, the Upper Sacramento, we do like to go down. There's a favorite winter fishery of ours in Northern California. That can be a pretty good bet this time of year too. As long as the flows are good, I think they'd probably be pretty low at this time of year. You know, we haven't seen a lot of bigger systems come through, so it should be in pretty good shape, and it can be a really good nymph fishery through the winter time. And it changes quite a bit in the winter. It doesn't, the fish don't hang out in a lot of the same places. You want to look for them in more of the deeper pools and holes and stuff like that is where I found them in the, you know, longer runs and stuff. So that's a really fun place to go, really fun winter fishery if you've got a nice day and the conditions are right. So that's what we're seeing, that's what we're doing. It continues to be a great time to fish. We're fortunate we have, you know, these extended seasons here in this region, and yeah, it's a good time to get out there if you've got the time, and we'd be happy to help you detail these locations a bit more and make sure you got the right stuff for where you're going. So we appreciate you tuning in as usual. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from all of us here at AFS, and we'll be talking to you soon.